Gear up, Scooter fam. Today we're going to see if there are any good deals left on scooters. Alright guys, so today, like I said, we're going to see if there are any good deals left, where they are, who's got the best deals, so forth. After the holidays, this is New Year's Day. So yeah, we're going to see how we start off on 2025 and take a look at some of the deals that are still going on that changed recently. There's some that have been gone, and so I have to go over all of them. But the ones that are relevant and the ones that have changed, I'm going to go over today. Hopefully, this will be kind of a short video, but every time I say that, it stretches to like 15, 20 minutes. So we'll see how it goes. Before we get into the video, I just want to remind everyone that you can support the channel by buying some merch, joining my Patreon, or buying me a coffee. Thanks for your support. All right, so a couple things, or at least one thing. I had a question on a comment asking how much I weigh. First of all, I think it's kind of interesting that every scooter channel kind of states their weight. I feel like it's more of a Weight Watchers meeting or something. Only kidding, but yeah, I mean it's not a big deal to me, but I just think it's funny. I mean, even people that are quite large don't seem to have a problem with saying how large they are. I guess because they're promoting scooters that can carry heavy riders, which is a good thing. But it's just an interesting occurrence in my opinion. In any case, I weigh mostly between 185 and 190. Today I'm 187. So yeah, just for a reference, I'll try to bring it up when it's relevant. But yeah, just for future reference, I toggle between 185, 190. All right, now into the scooters. InMotion RS and the RS Lite at InMotion have returned to back to the regular price of $4,000 and $3,000, $39.99 and $29.99. So, just speaking of the InMotion RS and RS Lite, everyone for the most part is aware that they have had some issues, mainly with the motor controllers and the motors themselves. So I believe it's mostly the rear motor that has the problem, and I believe it's how the cable is managed going back to the rear motor, and it just seems to be a flawed setup or something along those lines. It could be just the cable itself, but whatever it is, it's still a problem. It's not something that has gone away completely, and just a note, it's something to be noted. If you get the RS, you're probably going to deal with those problems. So you'll might have to wait on parts, fix it yourself, that kind of stuff. So just keep all that in mind if you decide to get a RS or RS Lite. On Voro Motors, the RS Midnight and Midnight Lite are still on sale, so to speak. They're cheaper. They're cheaper than where they were obviously before. $36.95 for the InMotion RS Midnight, and still $24.99 for the Midnight Lite. For the Midnight, the code ESA Midnight is still working. Yogi Steve's code. So feel free to use that for another couple $100 off. That brings the InMotion RS down. They do add tax to these at Voro, so just be prepared for that. We still get a better deal than you would on InMotion site after all is said and done. So something to consider. Not to mention with Voro, you kind of have another level of support. If you did decide to get an InMotion RS or RS Lite, you have at least a couple of places to try to go for help. And Voro really is trying to step up their game as far as customer service and response time. Gotrax has their holiday sale still going on. The three mostly notable prices that I think are good for if you're interested in the Gotrax is the GX0, which is $799, and it's been closer to $999 for the most part since I've been watching it. The GX1 is $999, which has been more around I want to say $11.99 or $12.99, similar to what the GX2 is now. And then the GX2 is also a good deal for $12.99. I think it hovers around $1,500. And then the GX3's been at $19.99 for a while, and it's still at $19.99. It was at $17.99 for a very, very short time, maybe Black Friday, and then it jumped back up to $19.99. But these two have stayed pretty consistent, and I believe they're decent deals for what they are for their price range at the moment. Solar is still offering 12% off of their scooters, all of them across the board for the holiday with BF12 discount code. And my favorite, I still like the Hyperion. I know it's new. I just there's it's just got a lot of things that I like. It's the stability. If they pulled off the split rims, that's awesome. I like the design better than, let's say, the Solar P1 Pro. It's a more updated design. I like the solid stem as opposed to an adjustable stem. I know adjustable stems are more convenient in a sense because you can customize them to your height or preference, but the solid stems are more stable. And so I prefer solid stems rather than adjustable stems in general. So I really think it's an incredibly interesting scooter, and I'll be keeping an eye on it. It's a great deal for $32.99, considering you get 12% off. Apollo still has some of their sales going on. The Apollo Go, the Apollo City, $16.49. There was a code that got $149 off, but I can't find it. I'm not sure if that still holds. The Phantom V4X is still $19.99, which I think is probably correct. The going price. I wouldn't say it's a good deal. Apollo City, once again, if you can get it for $14.99, if there's another code somewhere, I think that would be a good deal. The Apollo Go at $10.99, considering there's a $50 off coupon down towards the bottom. That's easy to get. It would only be like $10.49, which is decent. It was at $9.99 for a short time, maybe during Black Friday or something like that. But it's back up with the $50 off. I think it was $10.49. But it's now back up to $10.99. It has been as high as $12.99, I believe, since I've been watching it. But I believe a good price for the Go is about $9.99, so $10.49 is about $50 difference. It's not too terrible. Segway, the notable sale that's still a decent price right now is the Segway ZT3 Pro. It's at $9.99. The cheapest I've seen, I think, was $9.49, about $50 difference. You might be able to. You can get a $20 coupon there. So there may be some other codes I'm not aware of as well, but $9.99 is about what I would expect the ZT3 Pro to be at. $9.49 is a better deal. It's been as high as $12.99, which I think is a bit overpriced. The Mars XTR is still $32.49. They only have the black version. It does come with the front turn signals versus the camo. So I think that's a good deal. I think $33.99 is probably a decent price for the scooter. So $32.49 is definitely a good deal. Although it's not $350 off. It's only about $150 off. All right. So my thoughts in general on those scooters. I like the deal at Solar. I really do. I think it's a really good deal on those scooters. Any one that you really like there is with a 12% off discount, I think is worth it. I haven't seen their prices jump around a lot since I've been watching. They've been pretty stable in prices, so I feel like as long as that deal holds, that it really is a good deal, and maybe not a deal that may not come back around till next year. So we'll see, or rather next towards Black Friday, the holidays again. So I do think that's a really good deal. I still think Gotrax has some really good deals. The InMotion RS, if you're willing to tough it out, I believe it's a good deal. But considering the issues, I mean, I don't think it's guaranteed you're going to have issues. There are some people that haven't had issues, but most people that I have seen, I'll put that as an asterisk because I've seen people say they haven't had any problems. I've heard people say that they had problems right out of the gate, and some people say they had problems very short time, different things. But the InMotion RS is a decent deal if you're willing to sort of tough it out. There's supposed to be a new version, I'm told, coming out in 2025 that's supposed to solve some of those problems. So if you want to wait to see how that goes, I wouldn't blame you. The Gotrax deal, I think, like I said, I believe those 3 scooters are all good prices. Probably my favorite is the GX1. I think it's just I think it's a deal for $9.99. The GX2 is also a good deal, but I just I don't know if I really want to pay more than $1,000 for a Gotrax, to be honest. That's just my take on it. They're good scooters. They have a little slow turnaround from what I've seen. As far as customer service, but I haven't seen too many major issues across the board, like similar issues popping up. Some people have had issues and had trouble getting service back. A couple of issues with the stem, and that I can recall, but that's only a couple, and none of them seem to be like a reoccurring for the most part. So. And that was the GX3, I believe, that had the stem issues, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I don't think that's a widespread problem. Maybe just a fluke, or the person riding the scooter was a bit hard on it or whatever. So something to keep in mind if you're wanting to get one of those. I think I don't have anything wrong. I don't see anything wrong with $19.99 for the GX3. It's just not a good deal. It's just okay. That's fine. It's a good price, but it's not a deal. Apollo Solar. I think I said Solar. Apollo is they've got a few scooters that I would purchase for the price. I don't see any crazy deals right now. They had some okay deals there for a while. I believe the Phantom V4X was down to $18.99, which I thought was definitely a deal. The Go being $9.99, and then I got a code for the City for $150 off, so it brought that down to $14.99, which I thought was a decent deal. The new ones, of course, they're not going to be deals on the new Phantoms probably for a while. They're going to try to get what they can out of those. I would expect. The ZT3, not really my scooter necessarily, but a lot of people are interested in it. It does seem to be a decent single motor scooter, but just not something that I would personally consider just because it's a single motor. The Mars XTR, awesome bang for the buck. Super beefy scooter. I haven't heard too much about the XTR having problems. I've only heard about one scooter having problems from T-Wing, and it was a Z4, and they did say that they had some problems with service, getting them parts and getting back with them as well. So something to consider if you do get the Mars XTR and you have issues, that be prepared for a little bit of painful back and forth between customer service. All right, and then finally, what scooters am I still considering? What scooters am I still considering purchasing at this point? After kind of going through some things, I like the Solar Hyperion. I'm probably gonna wait to see if they come out with another InMotion RS before I would go back to that. I still like the Apollo VX4 at its current price. Isn't a bad deal. The Mars XTR, is still a consideration. Can't think. Cabo's not right now. They're going through some turbulent times as a company. Same thing with Fluid and the Namis. So I don't know. I'd be a little bit cautious to order from either one of those places at the moment. They only have the Nami Bernie 2 Max at Fluid at the moment. They have not restocked their Klimas or their Bernie 2 base model. All that being said, there are at least, supposedly a few scooters that are coming out in 2025 from Voro Motors. One being the one from Project Daytona that I did a video on. And of course, I don't know the price point for that scooter, what it's going to be. If they do somehow manage to keep that scooter under $4,000, it's going to be incredibly tempting. It's going to be incredibly tempting for me. But I'm also curious what else they're going to come out with for 2025. I don't know how soon they're going to come out with them, and I don't want to hold my breath, but I'm so curious, and I'm seriously, considering just kind of waiting and see how things play out. I was never in a hurry anyway, but I was kind of starting to narrow down my choices, and then I found out about Voro coming out with a few scooters, new scooters, and so I'm just those are probably the most interesting things that I'm waiting on in the new InMotion RS whenever that comes out, and so that's where I'm at right now. There's a few that I'm really still interested in. Like I said, I think are good deals. The Hyperion, if I could get it for what I could get it now, it's tempting as well. Honestly, I know I may have problems, but I'm almost willing to take a shot, take a chance on that, and go with the solar. But we'll see how it goes. Final thoughts. Some of these prices are going to go up still. Some of them are going to stay the same, and we'll see others that still continue to come down as the year progresses. So, and I'll certainly keep everybody posted on that. If you enjoyed this content, you found it helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Consider joining my Patreon, buy me a coffee, or pick up some merch. Thanks, and happy riding.